Hey, you are listening to Medica Talks, which brings to you all the exclusive healthcare industry news, views, and opinions from across the world.
Hello listeners, I'm Urvashi. Today we will discuss importance of hernia mesh in hernia repair. Hello doctor, welcome to our podcast for patients, caregivers and healthcare professionals at Medica Talks. What is hernia and what causes it?
Hernias are a common health problem. A hernia occurs when there is a weakness or opening in the muscle and connective tissues that surround the belly area. Patients may feel a slight bulge, discomfort, or pressure as organs push out through these weaknesses. However, many patients may have this opening or weakness even if organs aren't actively pushing through. Over time, this bulge or area of weakness can grow in size. Occasionally, intestines can become trapped in the hernia, which requires emergency medical attention. Not only are there different kinds of hernia, different methods and surgical approaches are currently used to repair them. Today, a mesh product is commonly used in hernia repairs. Hernia mesh has been around for over 50 years and earlier versions of it have long been regarded as the gold standard to use in repairs. However, some websites today make claims that mesh is unsafe and that repairing hernias without mesh is better.
Must a hernia be repaired?
All hernias have the potential for trapping abdominal contents, such as intestine, which is why we typically recommend repair in patients who are acceptable surgical candidates. Not all hernias, though, are the same, and so we often employ a different approach based on the location of the hernia, such as groin or abdominal wall. In such case of groin, inguinal hernias, surgeons in recent past advocated for watchful waiting for the hernias that were not particularly bothersome. However, based on newer research, now that a large percentage of these hernias will later become bothersome and require repair, possibly emergent, and therefore repair is advocated.
Does hernia repair require mesh?
Not necessarily, but usually. In the right patients, some groin hernias can be repaired without mesh and still have acceptable success rates. Additionally, some small hernias at the belly button can be repaired with suture alone. Most repairs, though, do utilize prosthetic mesh to achieve a successful repair.
What exactly is a mesh?
The term mesh is used to describe a flat sheet of prosthetic material that is used to cover or patch a hernia.
Are there different kinds of mesh and how are they different?
There is a sizable industry devoted to a large array of hernia meshes. Some are made of various plastics, some are made of biological materials, some are permanent and some are designed to degrade over time. The most common type of mesh is made of plastic material and closely resembles a window screen in appearance. Some meshes are also made with protective coatings that allow them to be placed in the abdomen near the abdominal organs.
What are the advantages of using mesh in hernia repair?
Decades ago, hernia repairs were performed by simply suturing the hernia closed. For some types of hernia, this repair resulted in 25 to 50% of hernias later returning. Mesh changed that. By using mesh, the chance of hernia reoccurrence dropped to the low single digits.
Does mesh cause problems in hernia repair?
In most cases, using mesh is the acceptable standard of care. However, there can certainly be complications related to the mesh.
What specific problems are associated with mesh?
Mesh is a foreign body that your body incorporates to help strengthen the repair. However, being a foreign body, it can also become infected if it becomes contaminated either at the time of surgery or later. This may require the mesh removal. Mesh placed inside the abdomen can also lead to scar tissue or adhesion, formation that can predispose patients to bowel obstructions down the road. However, all patients who have had surgery in the abdomen also form these adhesions. So, this is not a problem specific to the mesh itself.
Why are mesh companies being sued now?
There are many sizes and shapes of mesh, all with different strengths and flexibility. Some lightweight meshes are removed from the market after cases of breakage were reported. But most brands and models of mesh have excellent safety profiles. There were also other surgeries that used mesh, such as vaginal sling surgery, which regrettably had a high complication rate but is a completely different surgery altogether. In the vast majority of cases, complications are the result of surgical technique and not the mesh used.
When mesh is required, is traditional open surgery or minimally invasive laparoscopic surgery better?
This is impossible to answer because every patient is different and every hernia is different. What is right for one patient may not be the best for the other. For this reason, an individualized approach is key. What our research has shown is that surgeon experience with a particular technique is the most important factor, whether it is laparoscopic or open.
What do the latest major scientific studies say about mesh? Is there a consensus?
In most hernias, mesh is the standard of care. This is what the science clearly indicates, and it is backed up by the well-designed clinical trials as well as retrospective studies.
So, doctor, what message would you like to give to our listeners?
Choosing the best fit for hernia repair is the utmost need to enhance the quality of life for people who have difficulties. Choose better and remove the stigma and fear.
Thank you, doctor, for being a part of Medica Talks and sharing your insights. We are hopeful that this informative talk has enlightened the listeners about the importance of hernia repair.
Hey listeners, I hope this podcast was beneficial for you. Don't forget to stay tuned with us for our next podcast session, where we bring to you all kinds of healthcare industry news, views and opinions from around the world.